I like mine because it fits in my back pocket, and I can take it to the airport, and I can just read one, and pick up another one later. But that's totally different from anime. Like, I turn the lights off and watch anime. Like, I get all kinds of into it. So, I like the idea that they're very often different because it gives me a reason to watch both. If they were the same, there's a part, I was trying to read the Beck manga after the fact, which I got mad because Tokyo Pop wouldn't produce all of it. They were only producing half of it. Anyway, because I have no opinion about that whatsoever, just so you know. But I couldn't read it because it was so much like the anime, and I was like, ugh. Okay, now the dog, okay, and and as ADD as I am, it has to offer me something. Like, I have to see something new. And so, I love, like, I go through and read different volumes. In fact, I even read some of them out of order, the Negima manga, because I find them hysterical and cute. My friend Kochi did the translation on them. The director of Inuyasha actually did the translation for most of the Negima manga. So, but I don't think they should be exactly the same. Here's a great example of a manga and an animated series that I don't even think resemble one another, and that's The Wallflower. The Wallflower manga looks nothing like the show, and they're both fantastic. One is a super testament to what a crazy SOB Nabashin is, and the other is a great mangaka that has a very fluid drawing style. So yeah, I don't, it doesn't bother me. But then again, I'm old. I'm going to tell you this, everybody who's young, when you get older, you don't care about as many things as you used to when you're younger. You really don't. Like, I think about the way I used to watch anime, like, well, I was only watching it Japanese, it was good, and it's good, couldn't care less. I love not reading something. I like being lazy, and it's fun. My dog likes it too. So yeah, I find out that, like, but I've never been picky about that. That's one that I've always enjoyed the differences between, and not, like, I've celebrated rather than cursed the day or whatever. Wow, it's so cool. There's so many hands up, but I'm so indecisive. And yes, holding the I know that. Yes, you. Yes, you know who you are.
Yeah. Since I'm Gojo, I have to say this. Hey, Goku, give me another beer.
I'm trying to think of a great way. I can't say the line though, because this is the daytime.
I'll be at the gallery.
I can't say cussings during the day. I'm going to do plenty of that tonight. So.
I'll be at the gallery.
Yes, I can say it at the gallery panel, and I've got a great story about Ilya Scordiolo, the voice actor from Sayuki, who plays Gojo, who didn't know what the word yaoi meant and got himself involved. So there is a story for the yaoi panel, definitely. Okay, number 2.
If you had to choose between voice acting and DJ, making the same amount of money per year.
Oh, that's nothing on both sides.
Well, no, if they were making
if I had my choice, I'm going to probably break some hearts, but DJ, in a heartbeat, without even blinking or looking back, DJ, believe it, DJ.
Yeah!
But anybody that's seen me, DJ, can kind of look at me and figure that out. Like, you can see how much fun I'm having, and like, no, that's just, like, there's nothing like that to me. In fact, I'm super excited. This is kind of my big news. Just as blue, which is funny because I make my opinions about stupid people on the internet. I'm like, I don't care. You can put me in meme generator and I can care less. I don't care that you don't get laid and you play on the internet all day. But the big thing that this one group of people that really mess with me a lot were saying, oh yeah, I'm such an awesome DJ. I only ever DJ at conventions. Well, I guess you'll have to suck it when I open for DJ Dara next week. Because I'm opening for Dara and Justinian, who are Diesel Boys, like, crew. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's good now. So I'm really excited. I'm playing a legitimate music-only show that has nothing to do with what I do here. And I don't discredit it. I love that I work in anime. I love that I get to DJ at conventions. But it has become an issue of credibility lately with some people that think because I'm an actor, it means I'm not really a DJ. So I'm excited about that, and if you're anywhere near Austin, Texas next weekend, in 2 weeks, I'm sorry, I have one more week to get ready. Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm super excited about it. So, yes, in the very cute costume. I have. Here, I was dressed as Chrono the year that Moriyama was here. In fact, he thought I was a cosplayer. He didn't know I was an actor. Patrick De La Nancy had asked me to bring my friend, this kid that I'm friends with, made this costume for me because I really had purple hair, and he's like, oh, we could dress up as Chrono together, and it's cool. He said, like one of my best friends. And so Patrick saw it. He goes, will you please bring that to Anime Boston? And I was like, why? And he told me, I already knew ahead of time. He enjoyed watching me almost pee on myself when I found out Moriyama was going to be here. I'm like, what? But they were trying actually to get Ishida and Moriyama, so it would have been Akira Ishida, which most of us would have kind of died to meet him. But he was working on a new Gundam project, and so he couldn't come. But they did get Moriyama, and so he had Ricky and I bringing him up on stage, and Ricky was dressed as Rosette, and I was dressed as Chrono. And so he thought I was a cosplay kid. And so then when all the North American guests lined up, you could see him and Tata-san like going, back and forth, like, what's that? And right before I went on, they played the, my name is Chrono, I'm what you call a devil. And he was like, okay. So I have dressed as him. I also have a Shinpachi costume that a friend of mine made when he was going through physical therapy. He couldn't do anything, he would sit on his butt, so he made costumes. It was really cool. And I had a weird costume given to me. I don't think I'm going to wear that one, but I'll talk about that one later. I can't talk about that during this panel. Yes, you thought I picked you earlier. Yes. I love Nagima. I hate his voice, but I love the show. It's a very bizarre show to me because of its fan base. It's very strange that a majority of the fans of that show are grown men. Like, it's kind of strange to me. They're all like 13-year-old girls. But it's weird. That's a little, I won't lie, that freaks me out just a little bit. But it's a cute show at the end of the day. And like, I love Akamatsu. Akamatsu is one of the only people I know brave enough to admit that one of his hobbies is playing hentai video games. And like, he's shameless about it. He's like, oh yeah, hentai video games. Like, and it's alongside of things like gardening and cooking, and like, when you read it, like, think about it, it's like, oh, he enjoys gardening, cooking, and playing hentai video games. Like, just like, yeah, that's everywhere. But, so I know that he's a little dirty, so he's going to have that built in, and that's okay. But I think it's a very cute show. I really enjoyed the second season much more than the first, because I was more comfortable doing the voice at that point. It's still not a voice that I feel comfortable doing outside of the studio. Like, no, I'm not going to do it. You can't even make me. You can look at me and figure out you can't make me do anything I don't want to do. But, yeah. My phone is laughing at me. Oh, on our way. Just, hang on. Just sitting in traffic. Yay! Okay, first you guys went in. Wait, did I ask? You already asked the question, right? I'm totally lost. What are we doing right now? Yeah, okay, yes. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Well, the company folded while we were working on the show. ADP doesn't exist anymore, and that was really hard for me as a fan because I was a part of, that family. But it was weird because we had just started working on Sanada when it happened, and none of us knew whether we were going to ever finish the show. And they announced that there was no more ADP, and then all of a sudden we were getting booked for time at this studio that was no longer ADP. Like, so nobody knew what to call it. We're like, well, I'm going to the building to record, like. And we, even when we were recording it, didn't know if the dub would ever see the light of day. We even said, we're like, is this going to ever get released? And we're like, well, we don't know, but we're just going to finish it in case we can. And I think it was cool because we finished it, and then what they did is they offered it at a reduced rate for people that bought the subtitle version. It also kind of takes the wind out of the people that are like, well, you don't even want to take my heads, but whatever. But I'm really glad that we've done the movie and after stories. such a sad show, though. I can't say why, but wow, sad show. Like, especially for my character being the goofiest one of the bunch. But yeah, I love Wilson Hart. He's so funny. If I knew him in real life, I'd smack him around too. Probably. He's such a crazy little kid. But I'm gonna make a quick announcement because if I don't, I'll forget to, and then y'all be like, he never told us what show he's working on. This leaked a few weeks ago because Pop, before they announced that they were closing too, was doing this greatest otaku contest, and they wanted to have footage recorded in the studio. I am working on a show that has more panties in it than anything I've ever seen in all of my years as an anime fan. More panties even than Agent Aika. Those of y'all that have seen Agent Aika. Yeah, I love it. We're like, wow, really? At one moment in the show, there are flying, singing panties. I get buried under a pile of panties at one point. I become a wrestler who uses a pair of panties as a mask. He's masked to panties. I make a panty robot that turns into a bike. It's a show called Heaven's Lost Property, and I'm playing the lead. I'm playing little Tomoki, who's always playing with panties. And it's called Heaven's Lost Property. And the two people that I can definitely announce that are in it, Eric Vale is my co-lead, and he plays Sugata, and he's hysterical. But yeah, that's the panty show. And it's so weird because, and I can't say this other show, but I was working on two shows at the same time. And one show had a lot of panties in it, and a lot of sexy things in it, but it was comedy. And then another one was not comedy, but had as many panties and sexy things in it. And it's funny the difference in attitude people take towards comedic sexual hijinks and real sexual hijinks. So this is the dirty funny one, not the dirty serious one. But yeah, that's my new show. I wish it was something nice and wholesome, but it's not. We work in anime, sometimes there's panties and jiggly parts, but anime for you. So now I can answer questions, but I wanted to make sure that I got out Heaven's Lost Property. We call it Heaven's Lost Panties. And okay, wait, how's this for a fan service-y show? Young 15-year-old boy who is always horny. Suddenly, angel robot falls out of the sky with great big boobs and wings, and the first person she sees, she has to do everything he tells her. Yeah, you can see where this is going. I was like, wow, this storyline is just super easy to figure out. But it actually turns out really funny. It's got a lot of really good comedy built into it, so it's really cool. And one of my friends got to watch me record it, so now he's thrilled that he can tell people that he got to watch this show being recorded. Yeah.
I just want to say, before asking my question, I'm a hardcore Enigma fan.
Oh, awesome! Thank you!
I know that you didn't do the voice again because I'm not going to blame you. I can really kill your voice. I'm actually happy you did that for 2 animes.
Oh, and 12 hours a day sometimes. Yeah, Lucy and I both recorded really long hours on that show.
Akamatsu actually confirmed on his blog last month that they are actually going to plan to do a actual manga shonen 3rd anime series.
Yeah.
They're not sure who's going to pick it up yet, but if you have the choice, would you be involved, like maybe directing or something?
Oh, I really enjoy that show, and people mistake my reluctance to do the voice for me not liking it. I love Negima. I think it's adorable, and I think it's fun, and people always ask me, well, if they ever do any more animation, would you do it? Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would always want to be involved in anything going on like that.
Because, not that I hate the 2 shows, but they kind of do give the manga...
They are. And the second one was done at kind of at Akamatsu's request, too, because he was really unhappy with the first one. So, I will not tell anyone how it ends, but I hated the end of the original series. I thought it was just a horrible ending. Especially for people that have gotten all attached to all the characters and all that, but that was kind of neat, and that's kind of the cool thing about anime. You can go back and retell a story. Unlockless Brotherhood is another example. Like, we'll just tell this story again a little differently, which is nice because I finally figured out how my character died. Originally, I just saw him floating down the river. I'm like, well, what happened to him? So at least in Brotherhood, I got to find out he got eviscerated. But yeah. Like you said, I never worry too much about the differences between one and the other because I know a little bit more about the process. But I know he's been really heavily involved with the second production. And